Hold up. I think I like this one. Why? Why not? Hmm. But yeah, so shout out. I just picked up on some tea, man. First off, we got two things to talk about. We got first of all, they just released the date of when the Five Bloods is going to be coming out, which is June 12th. June 12th. Ooh, Juneteenth. Oh shit, we gotta find something to celebrate. Anyway, anyway, but yeah, it's gonna be on June 12th, 2020. Um, so most likely, um, now it's so funny because when it was announced that Chadwick and Spike Lee are going to be doing a movie together, I felt like, oh, this is a huge plus for, anything Chadwick does is a huge plus. But come on, this is Spike fucking Lee, okay? So of course that's a plus. Like, you're working with Spike Lee here. Oh my goodness, that had to be amazing. But he's gonna be working, doing a movie with Spike Lee. Now, around that same time, we found out that not only is he going to be working with Spike Lee, but around that same time, we found out that he was supposed to be doing a movie about Yasuke, who was the first black samurai. Now, here's the thing though. Both announcements came out around the same time, right? So I assumed that, and then not to mention, Chadwick was spending a lot of time in like Thailand and stuff. So, we were very much assuming, myself included, that Yasuke and the Five Bloods were the same thing, right? But then we started, seeing that the Five Bloods is not, has nothing. They're two different things because apparently this movie is about five former veterans, U.S. veterans that fought in the Vietnam War or something like that. And I guess they're going back to find either the remains of their leader, and just find out what happened. I don't know. But the Vietnam War, that's so long ago, so I'm sure they have to be old, but I don't know. So obviously it's something that's completely different. So knowing Spike Lee and knowing his work and Chadwick and what he can do, I don't know who else is involved in this movie, but again, this is Spike Lee, so I know it's gonna be good. And then we got Chadwick, so I know it's gonna be good. And I'm also happy that it's coming out on Netflix. So this would be a second movie Chadwick has done for Netflix, because the first movie he did was oh shit, what was that movie? What is that? The hell is that? I don't care. Sorry, I had to burp. But the first movie was shit. What was the movie? Was it Message from the King? Well, I just want to say Take Me to the King, Lord Jesus. But yeah, so that was the first movie he did. So this will be the second one that Chadwick has done. So again, we are definitely going to have a live watch along of this movie. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna of course I'm gonna probably watch it on my Fire Stick, but yeah, because I'm not about to bring up Netflix for this. No, like my thing's already done, so I'm not trying to sign up for stuff and whatnot. But yeah, so that was that on that. What's another one? what's another thing? Oh yeah. So the second thing, child. So y'all know my newfound love, okay, on TV is 90 Day Fiance, right? Like, I literally, not literally just started watching, but I got hooked on it. I watch every single week. I'm mad. I'm kind of sad they got like 3 episodes left. I'm like, no. But I am definitely, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch, of course, before the 90 days, like, because since that's the one that I'm hooked on. There's 4 seasons. This is the 4th season, so I'm go back to season 1 and just watch, do a little binge watching, and just catch up from there. And then of course, I'm gonna give my little opinions. Like, I'll binge watch the 1st season, and then I'll come back and do review on that season on what I thought about it. Then I'm gonna do the 2nd season, then the 3rd, and then of course you're already getting my reviews for the 4th. So yeah, so that's gonna happen. But so for 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 days, we get news, okay, that Jeffrey has been kicked off the show. And I'm like, what? Now, granted, I'm thinking, is this like what they're doing? And hold on, if y'all don't know who Jeffrey is, so Jeffrey, he's the one that's, from Tennessee, that's dating Varya, who lives all the way in Russia, right? And so, he talked about his son and all, he has a son and all this other stuff. So he goes over to Russia and whatnot, meets with Varya, and the big thing for him is, telling her about his past, right? Now, the past that he has, right, that he mentioned on the show was the fact that he went to jail for selling drugs, right? And so Varya was like, oh, like, well, damn, why didn't you tell me this? Why you wait till I'm in love with you to be like, oh yeah, by the way? And to be honest with you, like, if you look at him, like, he don't look, sane. He looks like something suspicious about him to me. Like, before I even knew all this, like, to be honest, I thought Jeffrey was gay. Cause that's the vibes I was getting. Like, sir, you gay? Like, I don't know. But anyway, Bavaria was like, I don't know how this is gonna look because I'm an educator or whatever she said she is. And then not to mention my family, how they're gonna think about it, because you gotta tell them. And so when he went and told them, they was like, we have a saying in Russia that people don't change. Now, at the time, before I knew what I knew, I didn't know. I was just like, oh shit, people change. People actually change. But sure enough, we start hearing stuff that, well, for me, I start hearing about how Jeffrey not only lied about his past, but this man has been married 4 times, right? 2 of his previous wives, he had been married 4 times. 2 of his previous wives, they accused him of abuse, said that he was beating on them. Then we find out that recently, as of last year, like in July, I would say, of 2019, that this man had a girlfriend, right? And he not only was beating on her, but he had kidnapped her, turned off her phone. She couldn't call anybody, couldn't contact anybody. They arrest him, and I guess he got off on like a misdemeanor or something. And then he ended up filming with TLC, 90 Day Fiance, and all the other stuff and whatnot. And he ended up going to Russia, right? Well, baby, the girl that he was with was actually his current wife, like the 4th one. He was still married to her. Still married to her. And we find out that it's just, I just don't know how, because before you go on any show, whether it's like Love and Hip Hop, whether it's Love and Hip Hop or anything, or whether it's Real Housewives or any reality show, I'm pretty sure people will do a background check on you to see who you are, what what do you have on you? Because we don't want to bring you on here and you got a shitload of stuff, packing behind you, and now we looking embarrassed. Well, apparently TLC ain't did none of that. Okay, they ain't did none of that because obviously Jeffrey was able to slip through the cracks. So now, when Jeffrey came back to the United States, all of those charges started to, pick up like, whew, And then, of course, this whole pandemic and whatnot is happening. So, the trial and all that had started, like I said, because of the pandemic. But I just found it weird because I also watch 90 Day Fiance Pillow Talk. I also watched that. And they don't talk about Jeffrey and Varya. And I thought, well, maybe it's, they don't have time to talk about them, but they talk about everybody else. They talk about Rose and Ed. They talk about David and Yolanda and baby girl Lisa and Usman, and they even talk about Avery and Ash, but they don't ever talk about or show clips of, what's his name, in Varya. They don't ever talk about them. So now I see why, because now, the people at TLC are probably like, oh shit, okay, we gotta do a little bit of cleaning up here. It's the same thing that happened with, in a way, they're doing some of the same thing as, if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, which is another, where one of the contestants on there, Sherry Pie, she is on the show. However, she had been disqualified from the show because of the allegations. I guess, what did she do? She had, what did she do? I think she, was it sexually assaulted or something? She did something to multiple men, and, they disqualified her. However, they did reveal that she did make it to as far as the top 4 on RuPaul's Drag Race, but because of this happened, she ended up getting disqualified. But however, they make sure to let us know that, Sherry Pie, even though she was disqualified, that they're going to continue the season of RuPaul's Drag Race in respect of the other queens that are on there, because if they didn't do that, then they would just have to scrap the whole show, right? And that's just not fair to everybody else. So I feel like it's the same thing that they're doing here with 90 Day Fiance, that they're going to, continue out the season, because it's like 3 more episodes left. So they're going to continue on the season and, still show, their scenes. But as far as like the reunion or the tell-all or whatever, Jeffrey has not been invited. Varya was invited, but because Jeffrey, she's the only way I'm going if Jeffrey's going. And they're like, well, Jeffrey ain't coming there, so she ain't going. But everybody else will be there. What's another thing that happened? What's her name? What's her name? Ash and Avery, they ain't together no more. Which is obvious. I feel like when it comes to 90 Day Fiance, like, you might get that one couple, because watching Pillow Talk, realizing that the people who are on Pillow Talk are the same people that were actually on the show. So it goes to show you that there are actual success stories. Like one of them, or actually 2 of the couples, are actually about to have babies. So it's like, it goes to show you that, they are actually, good stories that come from this. But I just think that it's probably rare that we might get that, because so far what we've seen is mess. Like, I would be surprised that, if Usman and Lisa are still together. I would be surprised. Well, we know Ed and Rose ain't together, obviously. We know that Ash and Avery, they not together no more. Who else? I would be shocked if Stephanie and Erica are still together, because they are way too toxic. Like, just way too toxic. So I would be surprised for that. Who else? I'm trying to think. who else would I be surprised if they were still together? Child, I think that's really it as far as couples, because we know Lana, as far as David and Lana, we know Lana's not real. And Yolanda and Williams, we know Williams ain't real. So, that's nothing. Is there anybody else that I think? But yeah, so I just think that, and to confirm, Ash was the one that confirmed it, but the way we see them on the show, like, it's obvious they're not together anymore, because I feel like we can all have our opinions, okay, and it's obvious that Ash has his opinion, he has his way of thinking when it comes to his beliefs and all, but at the same time, I feel like Avery also has her beliefs too, and I think when it comes to a relationship, there's a compromise. Like, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying, but here's how I feel. Okay, and you should be like, okay, I see what you're saying. All right, so I guess we can just, either agree to disagree, or slightly change your opinion. But Ash is just not only stuck on his beliefs, but he's turning it around and making it seem like but Avery is attacking. And then Avery's dumbass, and they're like, do you really feel like that? Yeah. Of course he feels that way. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said it. Like, this is the thing about, I feel like a lot of women, or people in general, but specifically on women, a lot of times women try to hear what they want to hear, okay? And feel like, oh, well, if he said this, then if he thinks it, no, this is what he said. Okay? And again, just people in general, like, you cannot, try to jump around what someone has said. If someone says something, that's what they meant. That's what they believe. It's not, well, if you really feel that, no, they do feel that way. Otherwise, they wouldn't have said it, right? So, I feel like, like, stop trying to jump around of what you think you want to hear. Okay, so yeah, I feel like that's all I got, y'all. Like, that's really all I got. I think I'm gonna start doing this, talk about things I want. I mean, I do that anyway, but of course I'm gonna upload this on YouTube and whatnot, because every now and again pop on here and give y'all my thoughts on certain things, and just go on from there. But yeah, like I say, you cannot, my little tidbit of the day, you cannot think of, or what am I trying to say, for my little tidbit of the day, you cannot change or try to change somebody's opinion, or if that makes sense. Like, you cannot, hear what you want to hear. That's what I should say. Yeah, you cannot hear what you want to hear. You have to hear what's been said. Right? So, and you cannot try to dance around it. You cannot try to, make an excuse for, if that's what, stop trying to make excuses for what someone has said, because then what's going to happen, you're going to be standing there looking stupid, telling myself, oh, well, if you really feel that way, no. Nope. It's like if if a woman or anybody says, for instance, if a man cheats on you or something like that, and no, if a man was like, oh, I like men or something like that, you cannot be like, oh, but he said he kind of likes me. No. He said he liked men, okay? Or if, a white person would have said, oh, I can't stand black people. Well, they said they some way. No, they can't. So stop trying to hear what you want to hear. Hear what was said, process it. Like, okay. And that way you are able to see, who that person is, and decipher if you want to be around them, Because then otherwise, you still try to attach yourself to them, and then you're sitting there looking stupid while they're over here just dragging you on, and you look like boo-boo foo. So, Yeah, that's my little tidbit. It was a little all over the place, but that was my tidbit for the day. Do I have anything else? No, I don't. So with that being said, I'll see you later. Bye.